Okay, so I'm going to start off with the ChYMH module. We just start by going to the global menu to find the chimes that are across the organization, that have been completed across the organization. Okay, so here we have the search parameters. We have the ID number, the client name, the start and end date, programs, the workers, and we also have the type of ChYMH assessment. So here are all the different assessments we have for ChYMH. We have the submission status and the authentication. So I'm just going to reset and search. So here are all the ChYMH assessments across the organization. They will indicate whether they've been authenticated. Again, they'll have the ID number, the date, client, the type, the reason for the ChYMH. They'll have the ChYMH itself, the ID number, I believe, the program, the worker, and the extract info. So at the top here, we have aggregate data extract. And this is just an extract of all the data. It has identifying client information. And we also have the InterEye submission, which is anonymized and in the format that InterEye has approved of. So I'm just going to go in the client file.
Yeah, Saba, sorry, if I could just jump in here. I just wanted to touch on what you were just talking about there about the InterEye submission. I wanted to make it clear to folks. So the reason that that's in there is as part of the end user license agreement to use the ChYMH, you get to use the ChYMH as an agency for free without paying a ChYMH license to InterEye. Otherwise, you would have to pay a license fee to InterEye. In exchange for them not charging you to use the ChYMH, they ask that you send them your ChYMH, your completed ChYMH assessments once a year. And so what we do is we've added in that ChYMH submission in order to ensure that we can extract the data from your system in an anonymized way, and just like Saba said, in the format that InterEye expects. So that's why that specific function is in there. Sorry, Saba, go ahead.
No, thank you for jumping in. Okay, so the way we can get to the ChYMH from the client menu is from the client files, we go to the client menu and we scroll down to find ChYMH right here. So here are all the previous assessments that we have filled out for Kenneth, but I'm going to start a new one right here just to show you what it looks like. So automatically the date will populate with today's date and time, and you can pick a program. The worker will auto-populate to me, and we have the attachments, the client, and the ChYMH type. So since we've already filled out a couple of ChYMHs for Kenneth, it'll show us the ones that we haven't. So I'm just going to go ahead and click the screener plus. So automatically all of the demographic information has been filled out because it pulls from the data set. So we have, gender, birth date, stuff like that. And we also have a screener type here where I'm just going to click screener initial. And I'm just going to go through the ChYMH a little bit so you can see what it looks like. So there are different sections, and for each sort of question we have drop downs. And each section at the end, there's notes where you can write comments or notes that you need for the specific section. So that's sort of what it looks like. We have a save button at the top right here. Since it's a lengthy assessment, you can save and come back to it. Just going to scroll up, and I'm actually going to go to an assessment that has already been completed. So we'll go to the community version. It's just taking a while. Okay. So this one has already been almost completed. It just hasn't been authenticated. I wanted to show you guys a couple of features that we have. So right at the top here, we have the ChYMH menu. So if I click on that, it will show me all of the sections that we have for the ChYMH. So if there's a piece of information that you got and you wanted to fill it out, you can click on the section and it'll take you there without you having to scroll. I'm going to go back to the ChYMH menu, and right here at the bottom, we have all of the data elements that we haven't filled out that are required to complete all of the calculations. So if I go and click on that, it'll take me to the areas that have not been completed. If your client is meeting requirements for an adolescent supplement, then we can also do that right here. So we go to the client menu and we would just click ChYMH and scroll back up. So this one has been completed, but this is the adolescent supplement. So it'll look the same as the other assessments. They will have drop downs and notes. So I'm just showing you what it looks like. And we can transfer these to a PDF as well or print. So that is the adolescent supplement. And if I click on the ChYMH menu again, I'm going to go back to the original ChYMH assessment. Okay. We have a CAPS and outcomes report. So I'm just going to click on that. Okay, so to the left, we have the client ID, the case record number, the birth date, the gender, and the primary language. And to my right, we have 3 different assessments that this client has done. So we have the current, baseline, and previous assessments, and they're all color-coded. So this will be more useful as I scroll down, but just for you to see, that's the thing we have right here. We have reasons for admissions, strengths, goals, missing values. So those are the elements that we didn't complete. We have assessment notes. And we have the scale summary. So again, it gives us a little legend to see what each color represents, and we can compare and contrast the results. So we have a visual representation of the information here, but we also have the written version down below. I'm just going to slowly go through that so you can see what this looks like. Okay, we have the cut points. So cut points by diagnosis, decision trees, and cut points by criterion variable. And we also have the CAP summary. So again, we can compare and contrast each assessment. We have the CAPS breakdown. Finally, we have the assessment data. Okay. So that is the CAPS and outcome report, and that basically concludes the ChYMH module.
Here I'm in the ChYMH again. I just went to the global menu, went to the ChYMH. And as Saba was trying to click, see here, you've got a CSV aggregate data extract. So when I click that, it just pops up and it's going to ask me where do I want to save the specific document. I can save it there. Then the saved document shows up on my downloads, and I can just pop it open. And if I had a whole bunch of assessments that were filled out, then they would all show up in here. But here you can see that all the different data element headers are along the top. Let me just dismiss this. So you can see as I scroll over, there's a large number of data elements So it's got all the data elements.
Adam, sorry, I can only see your demo site. I can't see the
Oh,
if you're working
okay.
with something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's because I made the mistake of sharing a specific window. 1 second. Can you see my Excel document now?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, it's empty right now, but basically you can see all the headers along the top. So each column is a different data element. So, you know, the record ID, the type of the ChYMH, client ID, worker ID, program, etc. And so as you can see, as I scroll over, there's a large number, right? There's a lot of fields in the ChYMH, and each one has its own individual column. So if you did want to, you can extract them like this, and then you can filter and manipulate to your heart's content in Excel if you'd like.
So again, just through the global dashboard, I'm going to go to the MHQCY module. Oh.
So yeah, so there was only one other comment here that we didn't address. That was from Nicholas. He said that most of the data is there. He says that he's noticed that for some of the versions of the ChYMH that we've got in EMHware, he thinks that the extract is missing a couple data points, but there are tickets in with the support team to get that rectified.
Perfect. Okay, so once I click on the MHQCY module right here, it will bring me to the search parameters, as it always does. Again, I can search and reset and find all of the questionnaires that have been filled out across the organization, and it will show me whether it's been authenticated, whether it's in the client portal. So these MHQCY questionnaires can be integrated into the client portal for either the parent or the child to complete. Whether it's been completed, the ID number, the date, the client, the type of questionnaire, program, and the worker. And we also have an MHQCY dashboard here, so it's almost like a report. So I'm just going to change the date from till 2 years ago and today. And I'm going to pick one of these questionnaires. So I'll just do the parent brief intake. So it will give us a visual representation of just demographic information of people that have completed the specific questionnaire. So this is sort of what it looks like. So it also give us pre and post results. So, you know, before getting services and after getting services. So whenever someone fills out a questionnaire before and after. So we have average scores. So of course, there would be more information here, but this is just for the demonstration site. So yeah, so that's what the MHQCY dashboard looks like. And I'm just going to go ahead and find a client file. And so again, I'm going to go through the client menu to start an MHQCY assessment. I'm just going to click new at the top here. So again, it'll show me all the questionnaires that I've already filled out. The date will populate to today's current date and time, and I can pick the questionnaire type. I'm just going to pick the program as well. And again, like I mentioned, it can be published and editable in the client portal. So either the parent or child can complete this questionnaire at home. So there's a debrief at the beginning of each questionnaire, just why they're completing this questionnaire and what will be done with their answers. And they're also given instructions. And they would just have to go through and fill the questionnaire out, make comments where needed. So yeah, that's basically what the MHQCY. This is sort of the format. Okay. So I'm going to go to one that has already been completed. So Go to this one, okay. So yeah, this one has already been completed. And like the ChYMH, we also have an MHQCY menu. And we have a report. So it will show us all of the information about the report. So we have, okay, so I'm going to find one actually with a post questionnaire option as well, so you can see what that looks like. Let me go back and find one. See if this one maybe. Okay, so I have my pre-questionnaire here and I can pick my post questionnaire. So again, at the left here, it will show me the client, the age, and the gender. And it'll also show me information about the pre and post questionnaires and when they were done and the type of questionnaire they are. And over here, we have information about the symptoms and functioning. So we have the emotional behavioral scale scores, and we can compare and contrast the pre and post questionnaires here. And we also have the functioning scores. We have a legend to understand what this means. We also have an emotional behavioral scale score breakdown. And we also have the functioning domains breakdown. So this can be exported into PDF, into Excel, and it can be printed as well. So that essentially concludes the MHQCY module.